What's going on, my friends? Welcome to day one, officially day one of the 30-day meditation challenge, current. Now this one is going to be, as you probably have heard, the journey into sound. So what's all about journeying into sound? Well, it's about how to meditate to music. So there's lots of different ways to meditate, my friends, as you probably are aware, whether you're new to meditation or whether you're experienced with meditation. Whether you've never even sat down to try meditation yet, there's lots of ways that you'll discover that a lot of people meditate in different ways. So I've been meditating for about 30 years. I started my first meditation when I began martial arts training. When I was 15 years old, my first martial arts teacher taught me my first meditation techniques. And for me, meditation has always been a pathway toward self-mastery. And self-mastery, it's not for everybody, I guess. For some people, they just want to meditate to feel better. They just want to meditate to check it out. They just want to meditate to, I don't know, for whatever reason you want to meditate. And that's great. Of course, there are esoteric, spiritual, and deep meanings for some for their interest in meditation. And it all boils down to one thing. Why do we meditate? Why do we have to meditate? Why can't we just be perfect right now? Well, it's simple. We're born into this world. I'll give you the quick 5-minute Dharma talk here. We're born into this world, and this world is like, you ever see the movie The Matrix? You're born into this world, and you're immediately imprinted. Now, I won't even get to why we're born into this world yet. That goes into a much deeper esoteric conversation about reincarnation and karma and other such juicy nuggets. But we're born into this world for whatever reason. And immediately we're imprinted energetically by the people around us. We're imprinted by the society and the culture that we're born into. Now, what do I mean by imprinted energetically? Well, the moment we're born, we are a pure being. Pure in the sense that we're new. It's like a new piece of paper. There's nothing been written on it yet. And immediately, folks start to write all over it. Well, your name is Bobby, or your name is Susie, and this is what a girl is, this is what a guy is, this is what you should be in life, this is what you should do, and this is the way the world works, Bobby or Susie, right? So we've all been taught a view of the world. We've all been taught a way of thinking. And the family you're born into, their belief systems, their level of consciousness itself has an effect on you as an individual. So we're born into this world and we're immediately conditioned by the world. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way it is. It's just the way that this world is. And who knows how many countless worlds there are to be born into. Exciting. So, but the whole point of it is this. At a certain age, some of us wake up and realize, gosh, there's got to be more to this life. There's got to be something deeper, something with more meaning, something to, show me the way. And so we go on a mission to seek and search for that. What is that thing that's going to show us the way? And we come across meditation. Well, it seems to be interesting. It seems to work for some people. Wouldn't it be nice to have peace of mind? Wouldn't it be nice to have happiness? Wouldn't it be nice to have, heck, even bliss? Well, for whatever reason why you got into meditation, you're here in the group. And in the group Meditation and Mindfulness, we're all about meditation and mindfulness. So I do these 30-day challenges to evoke you, to provoke you, to poke you, to get you to meditate every single day. Whether it's with me or without me, it doesn't really matter. But I found a little secret in my humble, 30 years of meditation practice is that you need to practice on a regular basis to derive a certain progress, to derive a certain amount of results, because we're constantly battling not only the conditioning that I spoke of earlier that we accrue from day one until now, growing up, becoming a conditioned mind, an identity, a perceptual being, a perceiver of the way life is. And of course, we all know the way life is, don't we? Or do we? Maybe this is why we meditate, because we want to find out. So, what happens is we find meditation practice and we try it out and we sit down and we say, oh my gosh, I just can't do this. Or maybe you say, wow, this is great. I just became enlightened my very first time. And for whatever experience you have in your meditation, you'll find very quickly that it wears off. He said it. It wears off. Oh my God, you mean I have to do this constantly? And, well, short answer is yes. Not only do we have to overcome the conditioning that we're born with, but we have to overcome the conditioning from our previous lifetimes. Don't worry about that for now. That's another talk for another time. But the point here is that we are very sensitive beings. We are all very psychic beings. We are all born, whether we realize it or not, with a very sensitive absorption of all of our environmental energies. And this sort of conditioning continues on to this day. Even when you meditate, you become more sensitive, you become more psychic, so it's even more important to make sure you wash all of that away. So I'm a big believer in the daily meditation practice, which is why I do these 30-day meditation challenges, because heck, why would somebody want to share meditation with others? Well, it's a really simple fact. It's a really simple fact, my friend. At a certain point in your meditation journey, you realize something. You realize, well, heck, this worked for me. It made me feel good. It changed my life for the better, even if it was just temporarily. I want to share this with others. Wouldn't it be great if others could experience what I've experienced? Or this momentary, even if it's temporary, joy that I get from this meditation practice. Now, of course, there's the deeper esoteric idea of the bodhisattva who enters into nirvana and comes back and returns to teach the world. I don't know if we're quite there yet. But as a meditation teacher, it's good to know why we're teaching. I can't think of a better thing to share with you, honestly, in life. I'm a big believer in working out. I'm a big believer in martial arts, eating right, all those things that, make for a somewhat healthy lifestyle. But if there was one thing that I had to choose to share with you, to teach, it would be meditation. Because I feel it's the most important thing. It's the most important thing because it gets us back in touch with who and what we really are. And who and what we really are has always been there. It's not as if we lost it. It's just it's been obscured. It's been eclipsed by the conditioning, by the thoughts, by the idea of this identity, and by the experience and memory that we've had from not only this life, but many, many past lives. And so we're born into this world with a certain set of karmas. Some are interested in meditation and some aren't, which is totally normal. And that's something that we have to come to accept, is that, heck, not everybody in the world might be interested in meditation at this time, and that's totally okay. At one point, you were in 3rd grade, and at that same point, someone else was in 10th grade. And it's not that someone in 10th grade is better than someone in 3rd grade, it's just that that person has progressed on to higher grades. It's just about time. But it's also about choices. You can live forever and not become enlightened, because enlightenment doesn't always have to happen to everybody, does it? But that's another topic for another time. I'm not here to talk about enlightenment, are we? We're here to talk about meditating to music. That's why you came on today, to check out the video, and that's what we're here to do. Why meditate to music? It's a very easy way to meditate. Now, of course, we all say that at the beginning. Yeah, meditation's easy, my friend. Trust me. Just meditate. You'll feel better. Well, it's not always the case, is it? Sometimes we meditate and we feel worse. Well, why is that? Well, because maybe we didn't know what was going on under there before. Maybe we have a lot to purify. Maybe we have a lot to overcome in terms of conditioning, in terms of programming, in terms of indoctrination. But you know what? Forget all about that for now. All we have to do is listen. All we have to do is listen deeply to the music. So it's a very easy way, technically, to get into a meditative state. And, upon starting this group 4 years ago, I've learned from many people that it's very difficult to get into a meditative state, especially if you don't have someone to help show you what a meditative state might be. I was fortunate enough to have a few teachers in my life, for whatever reason. And so I was able to see and experience by sitting with a meditation master what it's like to be in a meditative state. And so this is why I come on. Now, I'll be the first to say I'm no master, but I am a meditation expert. I've been meditating for over 30 years. I've been practicing martial arts for over 30 years. That doesn't make me special. It just is what it is. And I'm here to share that with you. And so here we go. So the meditation challenge is a way to create a daily regimen, a daily practice for your meditation, because it takes a daily, we have to bathe every day, hopefully, to wash the dirt, to keep our bodies from, smelling bad. Just in the same way, we need to meditate every day, not only to remove the impurities, the energetic impressions that we pick up on a day-to-day basis, but to gain ground. If we were just sort of like trying to survive, we're never going to get above that line of, sustained, of progress. And we all want progress. We don't just want to meditate to feel good for a moment or to overcome, the anxiety in that moment. Sure, it can do those things. But what we want to do is we really want to change our mind. We want to overcome this conditioning. We're in a condition of illusion. We see the world in a certain way. And why that is because of all the imprinting, of all the way our mind works. We are thinking, we are experiencing the world through a filter of thought forms. And these thought forms are just random. Did you ever think where language originated from, where our ideas and our cultures and societies originated from? Are they necessarily reality? No, they are versions, perversions, modifications of reality. And I don't know about you, but I want to experience as close to reality as I possibly can. So this is why I got on the journey toward meditation. It's because I wanted to know from my own experience what was the truth. I didn't want to take it from the priest or the monk. I didn't want to read it in a book. I didn't want to just have blind faith that someone else could tell me what's right and wrong, what the world is about. I wanted to have my own personal experience. And I think as a meditator, we all have an intuition that is perhaps somewhat more familiar to us than perhaps the average person. And that intuition is something you should trust. You should know, based on your own intuition, what's right, what's wrong, what to do in any situation. And this is the thing that meditation can give us, is that deeper connection with that intuition. Everybody has this connection. Everybody has this intuition. It's just how refined your connection is, or how much work you've done to overcome this conditioning. And so with meditation practice, we seek to not only, clear away the energetic impressions of the day, but rise above, to become more resistant to negativity, to become more in the moment, in the flow. Because when we're not in the moment, when we're not in the flow, we're caught up in our head, we're worried about what happened, we're worried about what's going to happen, we're thinking about what happened with that person the other day, we're worried about the bills we have to pay, we're worried about whatever, okay? And that's not a lot of fun, is it? I don't know about you, but I came here to have some fun. Okay, now sure we have to work. Sure we have to raise a family if that's what you have. Sure we have to go to school if that's where you're at. Sure we have to do the things to maintain our homes, our bodies, our whatever possessions that we have. You know, we have responsibilities to take care of. But we also have a deeper responsibility that many of us lose sight of and we forget about because we get caught up in the material world. We get caught up in the matrix. We get caught up in, look at her or look at him. I want to get what they have, so I'm going to pursue material gain. I'm going to pursue riches. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're into, I'm a big believer in, having what you need to have materially to make your life comfortable. Absolutely. I think in a modern world, we have the luxury of, being able to meditate at home and have a successful meditation practice. We don't have to run off to the cave in Tibet. We don't have to climb the mountain to find out the secret of life. Now, if that's what you're into, great. I'm all about climbing mountains and meditating in caves. I probably did that for a number of past lives. But in this life, we're here in the modern world, and we have to make a living. We have to live somewhere. We have to pay the rent. We have to pay the mortgage. We have to pay the bills. We have to pay the car loan. Everything needs some attention. And we often fall short-sighted of the true thing that needs the most attention, and that is, where are we going? What's the point? What's this life all about? And for me, meditation has always been a way to get back in touch with that part of ourselves that knows this, that part of ourselves that is already there. Behind the curtain, beyond the thoughts, there is an essence, there's a part of ourself that is eternal, that is pure consciousness. And if we can just remove the curtain and get beyond the thoughts, we can have that experience of our true nature of pure consciousness. And we don't have to do anything special. We don't have to be anybody special. It's already there. We just have to learn and practice how to move our attention away from the distractions and towards another distraction, if you will, until that one distraction becomes the non-distraction. So in essence, what meditation is and what we'll be doing here momentarily with the music is in the beginning, it's a way to adjust your attention from bouncing all around in the mind in an organized manner. Our attention is just bouncing around from thought to thought, from image to image, from concern to memory to blah, blah, blah. Or, we're just chatting it up with ourselves in there. To a single point of focus. And when we can hold our attention on a single point of focus, we're detaching ourselves from the normal way that our mind is. So it's like a workout. And guess what? Your mind is so used to this, it's become a habit. It's become a habit to be a wandering monkey mind, right? We all love that term, monkey mind. Actually, I hate it, but it is what it is. So you got to speak the language, right? So in this meditation, when we meditate to music, simply what we're going to do is we're going to take our attention, which is normally caught up in thought, because, that's not helping us much. Now, there's a time and place to think, and there's a way to think, but in order to experience life, in order to experience the full spectrum of life, and there is a full spectrum of life, we are experiencing a very small section of the full spectrum, what we call the 3D reality, the physical dimension. The dimension, and the reason why we're kind of stuck here is because we are habitually attached to our senses, to sense gratification. We always want to be looking at something. Oh, if I'm not looking at my phone, I feel out of place. If I'm not focused on the TV, I feel out of place. If I'm not, concerned about something, if I'm not worried about the next way I'm going to make money, I feel out of place. So there's always this projection into the future. There's always this nostalgic memory of the past that we're suffering. There's rarely a moment's notice of being in the moment, is there? But when there is, it's very special, it's very beautiful, it's very pristine, it's very enjoyable. And so meditation gives us of being in the... And my Wi-Fi is going in and out, so forgive me if I bounce on and off, but let's get to the meditation, shall we? So when we meditate to music, the music is a continuous stream of sound. And that continuous stream of sound is very easy to hold our attention on. It's no different from the process of holding your attention on the breath. In beginner's practice, we're often told, yes, just sit down and focus on your breath. Then you start to wander, you start to think thoughts, you start to notice your attention, even though you're focused on your breath, is like doing its own thing. It starts to go over the grocery list. It starts to go over, who I'm going to be dating later in the week. It starts to go over, where I'm going to take my kids on the week. It starts to go over all these different things. And then, okay, we realize that and we bring it back to the breath. Yes, we understand this process. So when you meditate to music, it's no different. We're simply redirecting our attention back to the music continually until we can get a hold of it. And this might take a few songs. We'll be meditating here till about 4 or 5 songs. It's a 20-25 minute meditation. Okay, so when you listen to the music, you want to listen completely, deeply, to the exclusion of all else. In fact, you even want to forget about yourself. Now that's the secret. Because oftentimes we are way too focused on ourselves, and this becomes the habit. This becomes this ritual of self-focus. We're like Narcissus staring into the pond, and we see the reflection of ourselves. And that's a good metaphor for the mind. When we look out into the world, what we're seeing is a reflection of our own mind. And so when the mind is empty, we're able to see life as it truly is. Just happening. There's no label, there's no, modification. It just is what it is. And perhaps we may even begin to see through the surface of life. Okay, so let's get started, my friend. For the first song, what I'd like you to do, since this is day 1, we'll kind of go over the instructions a little bit before we begin. I'd like you to sit up straight, whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor. I don't think it's a good idea to lay down to meditate. When you lay down to meditate, you will get too sleepy and you'll drift off into the astral plane. And we don't want to do that. We want to remain very focused. Meditation is a beautiful, sharp mind state. It's not spaced out. If you feel, spacey after your meditation, if you feel spaced out, if you feel worse than when you began, you're not meditating. You're spacing out. You're spacing out into the astral. And a lot of people make this mistake in the beginning, and this is why I'm here to come on and help you guys, sort of guide you through the beginnings and the basics of meditation, and even beyond when we're ready. So let's get to it, my friends. Okay, I'm going to start the music now. You can listen through your speaker, whether you're listening through your phone, tablet, TV, computer, laptop, whatever it might be. If you prefer to use headphones, wired, wireless, in-ear, out-ear, silencing, whatever these are called, noise canceling, you might want to try headphones. So, we're going to sit, take a few deep breaths to begin. First, we're going to breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Here we go. Back straight, nice posture. Just a few deep breaths to get started. a good idea to clear those nasal passages. Because once we get into the meditation, we're not going to be focusing on our breath. The breath will continue to breathe on its own, don't worry. We want to just breathe in the nose and out the nose at a certain point, and let the breath handle itself. Now simply listen to the music deeply. Focus and concentrate your full attention on the music. And when your attention wanders, just simply bring it back to listening to the music. It may take a song or two to settle down. Here we go. As we begin to even out our attention and settle down, focusing solely on the music, forget about yourself for a while. We're going to go on a vacation. Destination, music. Only the music exists. You're no longer sitting, you're no longer in a room, you're no longer a person. Only the music exists. Perfect listening. Perfect listening. No distractions. Complete absorption in the music. We're back. Ah, the meditative state.